This program raises questions. This program is for people who find it hard to trust God. The best answers are wrapped in flesh and blood. My friends, people who are enduring real tragedies every single day. Quadriplegia, muscular dystrophy, stroke, bankruptcy, loneliness, singleness. We're going to talk to those very people who have touched my life. Have you ever noticed how life is full of contrasts? A sunny day seems brighter when the storm is over. Flowers look more colorful when blooming from the cold, hard earth. And a smile says so much more when offered through deep disappointment. This describes Steve and Julie Snedeker and their children, Paige and Tyson. Never have I met a family like this. Theirs truly is a story of sunny days, flowers, smiles, where there should be none. For this family has taken the worst that disability can throw at them, and they've overcome. And you have to see it to believe it.
Grand is Barbados. Yeah.
There's a high school just right down the road Tyson went to. He graduated from this high school. I mean, Kenny and Paige. That's like 8 years ago.
Now look at Kenny. The whole time he's looking behind going, Paige, what did you do?
Paige is just always trying to pull pranks and tricks on everybody. Tyson's an engineering mind and good at math and, not artsy-fartsy.
That's a spider. He said, I will get you back. Why didn't you? You roll on Liz's toe.
I've been able to spend 16 years in this house and watch Tyson and David grow from little boys of 10 to Tyson, who is now going to be 26. I watched Paige grow from a 3-year-old to a young woman. I have had the pleasure of going back to school with them, going to therapies with them, taking them to the Y and watching them swim and play. They were born with the ability to see, and now they're legally blind. They were born with the ability to hear, to talk, to eat, to swallow, to run, play, do everything that any normal child can do, to a point of being wheelchair-bound, legally blind, profoundly deaf, totally dependent.
One day I was in the house with the kids. Steve had gone to work. The twins and I walked outside, and all of a sudden Tyson fell on the ground for no apparent reason. He fell off and on throughout the day. The next day, David started to fall and stumble. We took him to our pediatrician. He referred us to a neurologist. The neurologist did multiple tests on them, and during that period of time, David went into respiratory arrest, was rushed to the hospital, and was put on a vent and trach and G-tube for nutrition.
When I was Y-O-U-N, young boy, I watched my brother become saved. And we went to church together. and listen to the gospel and Sunday school teacher. I decided to ask Christ to come into my life when I was 10 years old. And I asked the Holy Spirit to sustain me. I have an understanding of what a young man has in his heart for his dreams. And Tyson has that. In his heart, he wants to be a missionary. He would like to be an evangelist. He would like to change people's lives. He would like to be an inspiration. He would like to be a father. He would love to have a sweetheart. He would love to know what that relationship would be like. They do think about their earthly life and why they came to be the way they are and why me. And then we talk about, so what do we do now? What can I do with my life? So we started to read together. We started to do small Bible studies. They progressed into Lifeway studies. And at the moment we're doing Biblical Training Institute, and he's thoroughly enjoying it. My experiences in studying with Tyson have been so sweet. He struggles, he works so hard. He wants to have everything correct. He wants to be 100%. And it's just been awesome.
There were numerous tests and studies done on the kids, but as of today, they still have no diagnosis. The only thing that they can say, it's a degenerative neuromuscular disease of unknown origin.
I love my twin brother so much. I would go to his bed from my bed to talk with him and pray and to pray with him together.
Judy and I went onto the hospital, and the nurse told me that David wasn't breathing. There were no signs that he was going to get better. They did an EEG of his brain, and he didn't have much brain activity, and we had to make a very difficult decision to take him off life support.
I
asked the Lord.
to give me my life when I was 7.
I gave him my life when I was 7.
But I did not feel strong.
I did not feel that I was strong enough. And after all those trials,
my father died.
my brother died when I was 9. He loved the Lord, and he always wanted to go to church, and he always smiled.
From a young age, I've always accepted what God gave me as His plan, not to be questioned. And the pain I felt wasn't for me, it was for them. And there's worse days and there's better days.
The miracle didn't happen here on earth, but it happened in heaven. That was the way we dealt with it. That was our miracle. He knew that that's where his place was, in heaven, in eternity with Jesus. Crab cakes and snails. Did you like them? No? She didn't like them. Hey.
She thought we were okay until she got the
Do you want a sandwich? Want a sandwich? I have pork. Do you want some? Do you want some pork? Do you want some stuffing too?
Paige just ended up with all the creative genes in the family. I don't think anybody else has a creative bone in their body, but she's full of it. And just the way her mind works. It's the way God made her.
It stands to reason that you would like something with flowers in the front.
Yes. Yes, I love flowers. It's very girly. Yes. Sometimes I like to be very girly.
I already told your brother this, but I want to thank you for serving on my prayer team. It means the world to know that Paige and Tyson are praying for me. Is that something that you enjoy doing, praying?
Yes.
Great.
I like to write down prayers.
I love to,
I like to write down.
and I love to write down prayers.
You write down prayers. Wow. Can I ask you, what inspired you to write your children's story? Sophia and her morning star.
I want to have kids
I want to help kids understand
that they can
that they can,
trust the Lord.
that they can trust the Lord
No matter
no matter
what
what trials
they face.
they face,
They will not be stuck.
and that they can never be stuck
God is with them.
because Jesus is always with them.
Wow. So that's why you wrote your children's book. Was a great story. And every time I tell the story to my friends or people I meet, I end up crying. It's such a sweet story.
I feel very much like the flower.
So in other words, the suffering and the loss that you've experienced has shown you more of God's glory.
Very true.
And that's very true.
If I have never had that, I have not because the Lord has done.
See, if I didn't have to go through trials, I wouldn't be as I am close to the Lord as I am now.
Wow. That touches me deeply.
When Paige was 14 years old, she started writing a story. And her nurse started doing this together, and it was a secret. So I did not know about this for quite a while. They would journal what she wanted to write, her thoughts and ideas, and they were doing this for a few years.
Paige's book was a surprise to me. She's a very private person. I kind of shrugged it off. Okay, book, yeah, that's good. I didn't think it would be that great, but it actually turned out real well. I was really set back by her ability to paint, draw, and write, express herself in a way that was an indirect expression. In the deaf culture, they are very direct, and they say exactly what they think, but she's exhibited the ability to get away from that, which is very uncommon.
At around the age of 5, she would just color and she would draw, and I would be like, she's really, really drawing well. She got into actually her first year in high school, and that's when she got really sick again, and she was starting to get weaker. And the art teacher said, you need to do something with your artwork. And so she drew. She was starting to paint with her mouth now because she couldn't use her hands anymore.
I started working with Paige about 2.5 years ago through the school system. She was a homebound student, and they assigned me to come and try to work with her and do art with her. I've never worked with a student before that had the severe physical disabilities that Paige has, but as soon as you meet her, you don't even notice that anymore because she's got such a spirit of strength and joy that you kind of forget all the other things. And my challenge was to figure out things that she could do, that she would have the most control over, while at the same time recognizing that she doesn't have a lot of control even with her head and neck.
The same color as your flowers from your birthday.
Oh, tell her it's blooming, another one. You're gonna go around and around. We started out doing things. We did a handprint thing, a wreath for Christmas, and she enjoyed having the paint all over her. We did a mask, and she actually let me put that on her face. She was just gung-ho. Whatever I came up with, she was willing to try. So then when they brought the book to me and said, we have this book that she wrote, but we don't know how to get it illustrated, and can you think of any way that she could be a part of that? I came up with 2 different ideas. One was silk painting, or textured papers and then collage them in designs that she designed. So they picked the second one, the collages. Does she want to make long lines this time, or?
Yes, up and down.
Okay. She had very clear images in her mind of what she wanted and how she wanted it to look. It was my challenge to try to find ways to identify those ideas that she had. So we came up with a grid system where I had a piece of paper with 9 numbers for different sections of the page. And I also brought like printouts from the internet of butterflies, for instance, to design her butterfly for the book. And she would pick trees and the shapes that she wanted the trees to look. She could tell me through the interpretation what she really wanted to have in the picture, what colors. We just painted hundreds of papers, all different colors and designs of texture. And then she could select which page she liked for the sky. She picked balloon paintings for some of the trees because of the patterns that it made. She could tell me where on the grid these things should be. So she really had a lot of control, but it took time, lots of time.
When I wake up and I look at them, and there's not much difference between me and them. They have the same wants, the same goals, the same aspirations, the same feelings, the same hurts. And there's some things that they can't do and can't achieve, but there's not many things that if you find a way, you can get it done.
Should taste better. You have to keep in mind that we're working for an hour and a half a week, and we're having to stop for her to rest a minute or let her do suctioning or whatever other things that have to do with her condition. Is that the color? Is this the orange she wants? You like it? Okay. Sometimes when we're working and we're very involved, suddenly the tray tube will fall off and the alarms go off, and we have to scamper to pull her back together again, and she takes it all in stride, and I'm getting a little better, but I really quake when I think about it because it's such a reminder of how really difficult her life is and how wonderfully she deals with it.
Oh, when you were 15? After my back surgery, I realized that I am here for God's glory. And I asked Him to come into my life. And I feel that I am more confident in knowing I have changed my heart. Oh, and I was very selfish before that. I want to do all the fun things I can. After all the trials and after all the back surgery. After the back surgery, you can't move much. Yeah. And after my trach. Why did God take everything from me? Why everything that I could do? Because you could walk before. I walked before, yes. That's why. But I knew God wanted to choose me for a special purpose. I really want to serve the Lord now. And that's all I want. And that's my story.
Let's see how you do this.
Beautiful. Look at you. You can even paint letters.
Oh, I get it. Look at that. It's leading really interesting.
But see how it makes like the roundy things, and then you have the lines. The textures really come out different.
Very cool. Is this the technique that you used for some of the painting in the book?
Yes.
Yes.
Just drape you so we don't get you. Unlovely.
This could be dangerous. This could be the beginning of a new technique for me.
Should we stay in the same room with you?
Oh, yeah. Now, these are poster paints?
These are not. These are acrylics.
Oh, acrylics. Great.
See, because they keep their texture.
Okay, let me have the balloon. I'll come and try the balloon.
Okay, you want me to take this off? Let's show the page though first.
Oh, it's just a little vase. It's
Let's
just
show what you got.
It's just a little vase. I'm trying something new. I haven't worked with an art teacher in many years. Hold it, Ken. Hold it.
Got it.
I'm working blind here. I can't really.
I see.
Hold up a little bit. Down. I'm doing it blind.
Good. Oh, very cool.
A little higher. A little high.
A little bit too high.
Up high.
Up high.
Higher.
I'm sorry, I'm not holding it very tight.
Okay, down. Down.
Oh!
Now, how come this down here? How come
I said the
that?
flowers fall down. They fall down.
Like, duh.
Sorry, I didn't realize. I should have known that.
Fun! Oh my goodness! Wow!
I have been through a lot with my brothers.
I have been through a lot with my brothers,
I watched them.
and I watched them,
They have been through a lot of trials.
and I've seen them go through a lot of
And I love the
trials.
Lord to make sure what happened to them.
And they love the Lord no matter what happened to them.
There is a lot to be said for God's mercy and the way everybody perceives it. But I think I have received the blessing that is just beyond compare. Can't think of another thing in my life that would have heightened my senses as much as the experience I've had with them. And they bore the cross most of the time.
I know
It's just
it is best
to complain.
not to complain. It is best not to
waste
complain.
my time complaining.
I would waste my
Yeah,
time
I
complaining
Oh, yeah, I suffered.
and suffering.
So the book is kind of like a metaphor for your life.
Yes,
I read it because of my heart.
I wrote the book with my heart.
And even though Sophia loses her life for having seen the glory of God, it was a life well spent.
I want to spend my time on earth.
I want to spend my time serving the Lord
As long as I live.
as long as I live.
Sophia and her morning star. One morning, Sophia woke up and looked at the sun rising over the meadow. She was praying to God that she could have a friend. She noticed something flying by the sun like a shadow. She was very curious about what it was. Sophia heard a voice say, "Hello." She looked around and saw a butterfly sitting on a tree. "Hello, butterfly. What's your name?" asked Sophia. "My name is Morning Star," said the butterfly. Well, I'm Sophia, and I wish I were free to move about and to fly on the wind like you, Sophia complained. Why, whatever do you mean? Asked Morning Star. You are growing so tall and beautiful. Thank you, but I would rather look around from above the ground, replied Sophia. God has made you as you are. You should be happy, said Morning Star. I am sad because when winter comes, I will wither and die. Before I go, could you please grant me one wish? I would be happy to help you. What do you wish for? Sophia said, I want you to pick me up and fly with me. Please show me the world, all the good things that God has created. Sure, Morning Star said. It would be my pleasure. I will pick you up and fly as fast as I can. So she swooped down and picked Sophia up from her long stem as carefully as she could. Together, they flew high up into the sky. Sophia was so amazed by God's colorful creations. She saw waterfalls with tropical birds and fish. Then there were mountains with fuzzy bear cubs playing on the cliffs. She saw a very big ocean with whales and dolphins jumping in the waves. Sophia was so happy. She smiled and laughed with joy. She was so grateful to God that He had sent a new friend to her. Sophia and Morning Star had a beautiful time together exploring the world for 2 days. On the 3rd day, Sophia said, Thank you for showing me all the beautiful things in the world. I feel so blessed that you are a part of my life. Sophia told Morning Star, I love you, Morning Star. I am going to miss you. May God bless you. You're welcome, dear friend. I love you too, said Morning Star. I am very tired now, said Sophia. Morning Star picked up her dying friend and flew up into the sky. And when she let go, Sophia kept floating up, higher and higher, until Morning Star could no longer see her. Goodbye, my sweet, beautiful Sophia, until I see you again in heaven. Morning Star smiled to herself as a tear ran down her cheek. She was going to miss her friend.
Join us again next week for Joni and Friends.